Yo, alright everyone, this is Cobb and this is going to be a quick guide video on Ember generation for Destro Lock. We're going to cover a few little strategies I like to do to build Embers really quickly, and having more Embers in PvP of course means more survivability through healing with Ember Tap, and this is going to help you out in duels, battlegrounds and in arenas. Now I'm going to cover some ways to quickly build Embers, then show an example clip defending a tower in Alterac Valley against a billion people. The first thing you can do is pop a very early Dark Soul if you're spec'd into Archimonde's Darkness and have 2 Dark Souls to play with. This is an epic way to get some easy Embers as well as early pressure. Of course, this tactic works a lot better in duels and battlegrounds. You never really want to be charging in and popping a Dark Soul just for Embers in an arena. The next is the most obvious of all, but it is often overlooked. Rain of Fire is an awesome tool for building Embers, and the more targets you're hitting with it, the more Embers you will build. So if enemies stack up, or if a hunter pops Stampede, or if a mage uses mirror images, always throw down a Rain of Fire. It's going to grab you a chunk of easy Embers. The next thing you can try out is basically putting Havoc on something. A lot of people like to go for big double Chaos Bolts with their Havoc, and while this can be awesome, it is hard to get off sometimes. I use a mouse over macro for my Havoc spell. It means that when I'm facing a lot of opponents and I need very fast Embers, I can just mouse over Havoc a random target and spam out double Conflags and double Fell Flames for some really fast Ember generation. If you're 1v1ing someone like a Frost Mage or a Hunter, you can Havoc the pet pretty much right away, and also when facing a Priest, don't forget to Havoc the Mindbender or Shadow Fiend once that has been summoned. And now for the actual clip. I'm defending a tower in Alterac Valley here. I think there was a Druid monkeying around too, helping me to defend, but for the most part I'm going to be relying on my own self heals and therefore Embers to survive for as long as I can here. With the amount of alliance that show up, I know I won't be able to kill them, but I am going to postpone the capping of this tower node for a good while. So first of all, I'm spec'd into the glyph of Ember Tap here, increasing Ember Tap heals, but turning Ember Tap into a 10-second heal over time. So at a few points, you're pretty much going to see me pre-hunting myself. Right here, I'm going to pop an early Dark Soul like we talked about before. The extra crit chance is going to boost my Ember generation by a significant chunk. Then I'm going to go right onto lobbing out a ton of Rain of Fires. I Howl of Terror too, of course. Surviving is pointless if I'm not completing my objective of interrupting the tower cap for as long as I can. I do have a Succubus sacked, so I'm going to land some knockdowns as well. I even go a little bit crazy and throw out an Infernal, just to be certain that the flag is not going to get nabbed from right under my nose. And as you can see, things are going kinda good. I have a plethora of Embers stacked up already. I'm able to keep up Ember Taps while kiting around with the help of my portal. Here I do get a little bit nervous though, and I burn 3 Embers on hotting myself up. Then I mouse over Havoc a random target. And this of course means that my next 3 Conflagrates, Fell Flames or Instant Incinerates are going to generate double the Embers that they normally would. Now I don't make the best use of this. I don't even use up all of the Havoc charges, and that is because so many allies are now piling onto the flag spot. I instead decide to focus on Rain of Fires with my second Dark Soul up. I would normally save my second Dark Soul for landing a kill, by the way, but I had a sneaking feeling that killing off all of these guys really wasn't going to happen. They try and get rid of me with their knockback at this point. I portal back up. Just around here that things start to go downhill. I pop Fire and Brimstone to AoE the flag. I should have popped my Unending Resolve and continued to Rain of Fire, and I probably could have tanked these guys out for even longer that way. Fire and Brimstone though steals away a much needed Ember, and I wasn't quick enough to shield wall also, so I'm forced to make a last stand with my Dark Bargain, so I'm basically dead here. But I'm going to be sure to remain annoying up until that point comes. I believe in finishing something in the same spirit with which you started it. I do Soulstone here, but without any Embers, a pet knockback or Dark Soul cooldowns, I'm not going to last very long. I throw out one last Shadow Fury before having to make a very sneaky escape. Anyways, that is it for this mini guide. I'm not so much expecting to teach something new to many people here, but I really just wanted to show how tastily Destro can survive if you are managing your Embers correctly. I did make mistakes here too with other abilities. I misused my Fire and Brimstone and didn't pop Unending Resolve at the right time, but that is a whole other video I think. I think my Ember generation was actually really good, and if anything I hope this video will remind some people who are struggling with survivability as Destro in general, the kind of things that you can do to quickly build Embers to increase your self-healing overall, and not just in battlegrounds but in duels and arenas as well. So I'm going to thank you all for watching now. Please do remember to leave a like behind if you did like this video. It does help out the views a lot, and I'm going to catch you all next time.